Welcome back to the second half. Ball's in your court, Van-Vee.
I guess I deserve that, Allie. Either way, it's good to see you, and I'm still trying to hug her, even though she's punching me, but also crying at the same time.
She's in a huggable position for sure. I mean, she doesn't say anything. She just waits for you to say something.
So, still hugging her while saying, "I've missed you. Hey, can you look at me?
Yeah.
Hey, how you been?" I'm trying to like pull her apart to like look at her and make sure like she
looks at you. She's a mess right now. You know, it's only been about 10 seconds, but already there's so much snot.
And I'll start like taking the tears and stuff off with a hanky I keep handy because now I'm in a formal place. comes in the suit pocket.
Love it.
So trying to keep her clean a little bit. Just ask her, hey, what's going on? Is this all? It's all because of me? Like, I know I left out of nowhere and it was a little bit of a surprise, but what's going on? Is something else going on here?
Look, Mom told us what you said when you left. And if you don't think that she's your mother, then I guess maybe you don't think that I'm your sister.
I can see how you're connecting those dots. Listen, Sophie raised me. She is my mom, but she's not my biological mom. You understand? I need to understand. I got to find who that is. I got to know where I came from. Sophie raised me, and I will never forget her for that. You are my sister, and Zach's my brother.
I mean, if you want... It's been years. You could have sent a message at any time saying that.
You're right. You're right. That's on me. I'd be remiss if I didn't. That's on me because I got swept up in the life of Thord, and that's a poor excuse, but that's all I got. And I'm sorry, Allie. You're right. I should have sent a message. I should have let you and Zach know. Heck, I should have let Sophie know. It was a bomb that he's struggling to say Dad, but he'll say Dad. Dropped on me the night before I left. I didn't sleep for weeks, and not that this is all about me here, but it was a big bomb to be dropped, you know. Night before I ship out.
I mean, she just doesn't say anything.
I understand it might take some time here, and I apologize, but I want to make this up to you. I'm going to work to be a better brother, and while I may not always be here, we'll stay in contact. Where are you going to school nowadays?
Dad wants me to go somewhere private, but I want to go to New Aflac. Yeah, just, you know, there's a really like prodigious and prestigious program on Risty Sumalin about like working in the medical, doing like biomedical engineering, and like everybody, like all the politicians' kids are doing it for like public service. But you know, I want to go into xenoarchaeology.
Oh shit, that's a $5. What's the currency in this world? 5 whatever word right there. Five credit word right there.
That's digging up alien ruins.
Well, shit, you know, if you get good at that, we could probably use you on our crew.
She gives you like a weird smile, but of course she's still crying and she's still got stock coming down. So it just it's an ugly cry. It's an ugly, ugly cry.
I'll tell you what, I'll see what I can do to try to help you go to New Aflac. I mean, if that's why your passion is, that's where you should go. I mean, heck, you saw I went to Thord to get off world and further my education, though I guarantee you it didn't go as Sophie and y'all planned.
I would love for you to make a skill roll on this one. Absolutely love for you to make a skill roll on this one to convince her to follow her dreams instead of her parents' plans for her.
Great brotherly influence.
I'll take connect or lead, or if you have another.
It wouldn't be talk, really.
Talk is a good one. I'll take it. Listen, this system is about skill negotiation. All right, I respect the game, within the game.
The thing I find weird about this is after you pick the skill, you then have to pick the stat every time. So do I just assume it's
That's
charisma?
because you could say intimidation might be talking with strength.
That's true. That's true.
It is charisma for this, though.
In this case? All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, balls.
Yeah, I'll think about that.
Of course, those aren't ones, 2 2s. It's like purposely going against my stupid focus.
You can tell that she's just trying to placate you, like going against her parents for a brother that she's hasn't seen in a long time. It's not gonna.
But regardless of that role, I'm still gonna talk to the other two, or at least y'all about it. Maybe not Sophie. She's intimidating.
She's intimidating. The only thing she's done is say, "How are you, Vandorn?" Hug you, and then get her heart broken repeatedly in an extremely short amount of time. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk to Allie about?
I don't think so. I think on
I
the
feel
alley
like you
front,
definitely have some more small talk after this.
Yes.
About
I think we're good with alley
locally. This station was just being built the last time you were here. Like, you've never seen it at this level of. I mean, it is swaggerly now.
Actually, you know what? I guess if I'm still what I'd want to ask. Hey, anything I need to be aware of with mom and dad? How they doing? How come dad's not here yet? Where's he coming from?
Dad didn't get the ambassadorship. He was back on planet for the New Year's festival. The royal princess was supposed to have a meeting with him, but she was too busy and he had to meet with the prime minister.
I see. All right, well, hey, when you're not at the top of the totem pole, sometimes you got to wait. And how's mom doing? How's Sophie?
Yeah, she's great. She's, it's a big business to direct, and she's always pushing her projects. She's keeping very busy.
Well, that's good. And it seems like Zach is the same as always, right? Going for that blast ball. And, I shouldn't have brought up the betting. I shouldn't get him into those bad habits I have.
Yeah, I think he's maybe not like how you remember him.
What do you mean by that?
She kind of looks like she's going to try to evade, and then she says, I think he's, he's not used to people saying no to him. It's gotten really competitive.
Well,
he really idolizes you.
Well, that's good to know. And I need to do a better job for both of you. Basically disappeared and haven't said a word, to your point. And that's unacceptable on my part. I'll tell you one thing, though. It's going to take a miracle for mom and dad to let him join my crew.
He's going to join your crew?
Oh, you didn't hear? He asked if he could join our ship, and I turfed that right back to mom and dad because I know they ain't going to approve.
You guys are salvagers, right? Old ruins?
Yeah, things like that. We take whatever job comes up.
She definitely wants to say something but doesn't here. And I want to cut over to Ludemann. Can you roll 4d20s real quick?
4d20s?
Yeah, 4d20s for no real reason.
Psychic damage.
Don't worry about it. Just roll.
All right. Where's how do I select 4d20 in this?
Just
Sorry.
slash roll 4d20.
Yeah.
There's also the white die by the bottom right-hand corner. Okay. So you got a 14, 18, 2, 1.
No, a 2 and a 1. Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah, so you and Sophie are looking over like trade goods that need to be shipped out of the system, and she's just like having casual conversation with you. She instructs the computer to like lower the gravity in here down to like 0.25 G so she can like throw and float you data pads and such.
Okay.
And it's basically just like a big holographic table that like she's pulling up different cargo ships that are with Vostro construction and like looking at what's inside of them. And she says, "Can I ask where you're headed, Captain?"
And I walk her through our basic itinerary, like with the first couple jumps that we're going through, and you know, we talked about in our departure debrief.
Pulls out clipboard. Well, you can see.
Yep, exactly. Like he pulls up his own data and kind of gives the rough plan for what they're going to be doing.
And you were just recently on Santiana Station, right?
Yeah, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. Well, it looks like we have a shipment of housewares that are going to 0504 if they can find a ship to take them.
We might just be that ship.
It's not going to clear you a ton of extra money, but it'll get you something.
Well, you know, I'll take something, that's for sure. I appreciate anything you're able to help out and throw our way. You know, right now our holds are empty, so they're sitting there useless. We want to make sure that they aren't.
Okay. How many tons of cargo can you hold right now?
120.
Okay. She will load you up with, if you want to accept her deal.
Okay.
She will give you 10% of the gains that she would get by selling this somewhere else.
Okay.
24,000 on arrival will be paid by a factor of post-stroke construction when you arrive at 0504. If everything's intact. So this is like TL4 cooking materials, refrigerators, laundry machines, showers. It's basically like Home Depot.
Right.
Loading Home Depot crates onto your ship.
I mean, this makes sense. High-end consumer goods. It sounds like something. And that's how much like total weight, or is it we fill in the
whole cargo hold? She's going to fill it all up.
All right. And then, so when we get there, we will sell it for 24,000. What does she want from us for it?
Oh, they will sell it.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to give
We're just covering transport.
Yes, you're going to give it
We're
to
shipping
them.
and handling.
They'll pay you 24,000 on arrival. We're
Fantastic.
bringing it to them, and then they will resell on planet.
Yeah, Quentin happily signs that deal, and you know, shakes and thanks her for
The
her
one
time.
concern you have is that it is not Astapel, it is the other planet in system, and Diana Island.
Uh-huh. Oh, I see. So we would have to take some time to get there.
Yeah, you'd have to basically take an extra, I believe it's 48 hours of transit to the other planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in terms of cost and everything, I think that's well worth the trip. He will forward, this information over, knowing that MINERVA can process and take a look at it if she has any objections or otherwise. But
so you just like send it to MINERVA,
right?
Okay. Well, MINERVA is gonna make sure to prep the cargo bay to receive cargo.
Beautiful.
I imagine like the data pad in Van-Vee's pocket goes ding, and he's just like, "What? It seems like my captain and mom are hitting it off just fine."
So after you've made the deal, she like gathers her tail or her hair up into a ponytail and uses a scrunchie, and then says, "How is Vandorn doing on your ship?"
I think he likes the business. I think he likes the freedom right now. I think this is suiting him.
I left standing orders that if he needed to call upon our accounts for big purchases, that it would be allowed. So I guess I'm a partial owner on your ship. I mean, from what I can tell looking at it, you drew some of your family's money as well. to buy this thing.
Down payments were required, that's for sure.
Is he happy?
I think it's complicated, but I think he is enjoying himself right now.
Okay.
This is definitely a trip that, you know, he was feeling things for, that's for sure, you know.
Is there anything I can do for your crew? A guided tour, maybe open any doors that you need?
You know, we're mostly here for Van-Vee. We are here to support him. As far as doors opened, well, that one I think we might keep in our back pocket. I'll let you know. Absolutely.
Okay.
I've got a meeting down on Planet. I explained that I'll be heading down to.
If you need a shuttle down there, you can take ours.
That would be fantastic. I would appreciate it.
We have a priority landing spot at the spaceport, pretty close to the Celebrity Gate.
Even better.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure doing business with you. She reaches out a hand for you to shake.
Yeah, Quentin shakes, and yeah, I really appreciate your time and the you know, hospitality you're offering.
All right. She guides you back to the elevator. Before she leaves, she lets the computer know to turn the gravity back up to normal. Stops on the dad's man cave level and is like, Zach, let's get Miss. I'm sorry, I didn't catch her name.
Minerva.
Minerva Blaze, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's head back down. Minerva, can I talk to you privately over here?
Of course.
As Quentin and Zach, Van-Vee, and Allie are talking across the family room, she leads you to look out towards Risti Sumalin on the opposite side of the room and says, Ms. Blaze?
Yes, Ms.
Ms. When I tried to access your citizenship file, there was a chartreuse level code word required to access it. Can I ask what you do for my government?
I believe while I would love to give you a specific answer, I don't believe that I'm allowed to. But
Okay.
what I will say is I am serving as the computers and communications expert on the ship. I have a strong background in such.
I know.
I'm sorry. That's about the most detail I think I'm allowed to give you. I hope you understand.
Of course. Why don't you go rejoin your friends? It doesn't look like anyone wants to eat anything substantial, but I'll get some snacks prepared.
I know that the captain and I really wanted to. I mean, Van-Vee expressed an interest in coming here. We wanted to make sure that he could come spend time with the family, and we didn't want to interrupt him with the other business we needed to do. So, but I really appreciate your hospitality. You've been very kind.
Thank you. You've been an excellent guest.
Thank you.
In the 8 minutes we've known each other.
Well, hopefully, I'm a recent addition to the crew. Hopefully this means that as we take more trips back here, maybe we'll have more occasion to speak.
I would be very pleased if you could nudge the return of the ship to Midapile.
I think family is very important.
Netflix.
She separates from you to start ordering like tapas plate so that there's a variety of light snacks for everybody. And the crew's back together. I don't know what you guys want to do next here. Now that Minerva, in your split focus, you know that someone is requesting remote access to your cargo bay. about like 2 hours from now, and they're going to begin the process of like offloading cargo containers into the ship, automated.
Captain, as I understand, the ship will be ready to receive cargo it looks like the cargo is scheduled to be loaded in about 2 hours.
Love to hear it. Yeah. I don't know how long. Van-Vee, how long you want to stick around? What are we doing?
You know, for me personally, I'm hoping to meet my father, y'all. When is he expected, by the way? I was told it was this afternoon by the guardsman over there, or whatever, the scanner, whatever his job is.
Oh, yes, of course. You mean Giles?
Yeah, sorry.
He's our doorman.
Yeah, and let me tell you, he is a good doorman.
I'll make sure to put a commendation in his record.
But me meeting my father does not require Minerva and Quentin to wait around. They have other.
You hear the elevator tube. Someone opens the door, and it's very late 80s sitcom. Like the audience all claps, somebody laughs, and he walks in and says, "Did somebody say father?" As you know, a very powerful looking man walks into the room, Yal Vostro. He looks like a taller, stronger version of Van-Vee. And you know, he like goes over for his 2 kids and his wife, and you know, and he just turns to look at you, Vandorn, and then turns to look at Quentin and says, "Captain, welcome to my home."
Sir, thank you so much. Sticks his hand out.
Dresses the captain before his own son.
He switches from speaking Mandate to speaking English and says, "And a mighty howdy to you, Captain. I spent some time learning the local lead-in dialect. I assume that this is. I was actually getting put up for ambassadorial service to your planet soon, but looks like that won't be going through quite yet. There's some more paperwork." And he puts his second hand over top and gives you a squeeze during that handshake. And he you know, walks over to you, Minerva, and says, "I'm afraid." He switches back to Mandate as well. "I'm afraid we haven't met before. I'm Yal Vostro."
Pleased to meet you. I'm Miss Minerva Blaze. I serve as the communications expert aboard the ship.
Aboard the ship, the famous ship, the ship that you bought with your mother's money, the ship. He puts his briefcase on the table.
Well, it's good to see you, Father. It's been some time.
Yeah, Vandorn Ostro. It has been some time.
You see like a slight twinge of pain across Van-Vee's face when he uses Vostro as my last name.
Yeah. Very clearly did it on purpose.
Well, it appears that you know, I would hate to continue to intrude on you know, a family reunion, and I believe the captain and I had some business on the surface.
Things are so uncomfortable. You know what? I would love to talk to. Sorry, what are you going by now, Van-Vee? I'd love to talk to him upstairs.
Vandorn for you, Father, of course.
No, please. You are someone who makes their own path in the world. Let's use the name you've chosen, Van-Vee.
As you wish, Father. Whatever pleases you in your own establishment.
My own establishment. The house your mother and I built with our own 2 hands and our ingenuity, our cleverness. The family station. Of course. Let's come on. Let's go up. Let's talk blast ball like old times.
I think at that, he just kind of slowly turns to Quentin and Minerva and is like, "I'll see you 2 on shoot, what's our ship's name again? The
Golden Goose.
The Golden
Goose. I wanted to call it the GG because I've given everything a nickname in my head, but I just haven't used them yet. I'll see you guys on the Goose."
All right. Catch y'all later. Quentin will make his way, inquiring about the shuttle. And
we're actually going to follow
and...
Quentin and MINERVA taking the shuttle down.
Okay.
So this is a fast burn rocket shuttle, but it's got luxury appointments. When you get in, a piloting bot basically just says, "Hello and welcome. We've got you pre-programmed to head down to the capital. Is there anywhere you'd like to divert?"
I would like to, because we're going to the planet, I'm assuming I'm going to lose connection to the ship. I would like to pre-authorize the automatic cargo loading and make sure to lock all the internal doors.
Okay. All done. As you suspect, and begin to head towards the planet's outer atmosphere, a ship pulls up alongside a beautiful, enormous Guardian class planetary defense frigate, and as you pass near it, you get into the wash of its quantum ECM and lose connection. It comes back as the Guardian passes, but you can sense that the atmosphere is also saturated with quantum ECM particles, and the further down you go, the worse connection you're going to have. You ride in the wake of a Mercy rescue corvette down to the spaceport and are given priority landing clearance at a private terminal. Like your little bot just takes off his like super fake cap. It is as metal as he is, and he goes, "Thank you for riding today."
I love these things. Pats him on the way out.
You enter a futuristic sci-fi. Every building here is like one block big, scraping towers of, it looks like the bottom levels are like retail. The middle levels are like residential, and then the top levels are like corporate executive, and you can like land air vehicles on top for transportation out. So everything here is like mixed zoning. You could live your whole life in one building if you wanted to. There's public transportation. There are ground vehicles, but they are vastly outnumbered by hover and grav flying vehicles as well. The government complex is quite nearby, and you can see I assume you're headed towards the Royal Library Emeritus at the
Correct.
New Aflac Institute of Science.
That's the one. We've got an appointment there with a professor.
So yeah, like as you can just walk there if you want to, or you can take a transport.
Quentin would walk. Yeah, that's like up his alley. If MINERVA's.
MINERVA would really enjoy people watching, so no argument.
Odd, because everyone here speaks English just like you do, but they speak British English, so there's a lot of sarcasm. Every time you pass near a bottom layer of a building, it brings up like the menu for all the eateries inside, and it's like, choose your gravy, choose your meat to go with your entree, and choose your 3 favorite vegetables. And it's got like soybean and like carrots and such, and it's just like everything here is just like so prepackaged and ready to go. You can get anything you want here. There's lots of pride. You can see huge royal banners of the Robinson family around. You hear a news report that's going on, like the royal princess is expected to announce by the end of the week a release of a new step forward in technology. We're going to our analyst, Lieutenant General, and then like you keep walking, and then you hear something like tabloid news where someone's like, I'm telling you, the royal princess has gotten the treatments. We've all seen it. There's no way that her bus can remain floating like that. She's got anti-grav plates up in those things. I'm just telling you, my friend Patty got it in her butt. It looks amazing. We just have to stop lying to ourselves about it. And like, you keep walking. Someone tries to catch up with you on the street, and they're just like, everything is a simulation. Listen to me. Everything around us is fake. It's fake. It's all fake. And she's like trying to like grab at you and shake you.
How does MINERVA respond?
MINERVA's confused and curious. Like there's that socially awkward just standing there and listening and not like trying to not let this like taking like shuffles to not be grabbed, but at the same time just listening awkwardly intently.
Whatever. Don't make eye contact.
Okay. It's clear, I mean, New York City style. It's clear that she can't grab you with this. She moves on to somebody else. But she's just like, everything around us, it's not real. We all follow the lines that we're all meant to do. Life has been boxed around us. You ask for directions to the Royal Library Emeritus, and from there, the sub-department for pre-scream psionic studies. It has a sign outside indicating that you've passed several departments and sub-departments, and all of them have granted by, you see the Vostro name more than once. This particular sub-department was granted by the Royal Princess.
Okay.
When you enter, Quentin, you see several things immediately. There are chalkboards, holoboards, and marker boards. There's also a cork board. Your face is in the middle of the cork board with a bunch of red threads leading to other words coming off of it. The chalkboards have equations for jump calculations, like done by hand rather than by computers. The holo screens have you probably would be able to catch that they are part of a dissertation that's being worked on about the existence of metadimensional entities.
Okay.
So creatures that live in higher and lower dimensions than us.
Awesome.
And the marker boards, someone appears to be playing a game of Minefield. With like someone puts their answer in, and then somebody else comes in and is like, well, that was correct or not correct. There is one student in here, definitely a grad student, has the sense that she's given up. Unsurprisingly, wearing a gray New Aflac Institute of Science hoodie, gray sweatpants, no pretense at makeup, just like half sleeping on her books, kind of drooling.
Quentin will try to get her attention.
Yep. Hey.
How you doing?
Yeah. Hi.
That's my
You're
face.
Quentin Alexander Polk IV.
That's my name.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Iono Kanto. What are you doing here?
Well, I had reached out, and the professor's name?
Dr. Kuhn Sporadicus.
That's beautiful. I had reached out to Dr. Coons and made an appointment to talk to him. He seemed pretty excited.
Oh, yeah. I think he's like out right now. He could be back tomorrow. Can I help you with something? She like moves to put herself between you and the corkboard, but it's enormous, so there's no way she can block your view.
What do I notice first about the corkboard? I do have notice as a skill, if that helps.
Amazing. You don't need to make a notice first. You need to make a physical save.
A physical save. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
How'd you do?
How is that possible?
You rolled a 10.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's checking to see whether it'll give you a 1 if you're equal to or greater than a 15.
Gotcha.
So it's spitting back a 0, but you rolled a 10. If you click on the 0, it'll show you.
Yeah, I see that now.
Corkboard is about to assassinate you.
You go to look at the corkboard. You remember the intense pain of not being able to feel your legs, but being able to feel that your back is broken. Minerva, you watch as he throws up on Iono Kanto and then falls to his knees. Quentin, all you can see is blood all over your hands. And you look up and you're not looking at Iono Kanto. You're looking at Livy, and she goes, and you're pretty sure that that's a lung coming out of her mouth.
Ooh.
And then you pass out.
All right.
When he starts to go down, Minerva would have like taken a knee to be like, Captain, are you okay? And as he starts to fall, try to like catch and guide him to the ground.
Okay. Quentin, you wake up as someone catches you. You still think your hands are covered with blood, but you know where you are now. You're here in the present, in this moment.
Yeah, he's slightly hyperventilating and trying to get his breathing under control, breathing exercises, the whole 9 yards, the things that he's gone through his training, because keeping control is very important. But yeah, he's definitely completely shook, fully pale, like not really making words, just slowly coming to.
Captain, Quentin, sir. Are
Sorry,
you with me?
She's taking her sweatshirt off. I was just like, sorry, are you sick? Do I need to see somebody?
Do you have a glass of water? Can I have a glass of water?
Oh yeah. Hold on a sec. So she like goes over, gets a water bottle and throws it to Minerva while she just starts like cleaning her face off and like trying to get it out of her beloved new
I'm
anaphylactic
so sorry.
suicide.
I'm so sorry.
I'll open the water bottle while he's leaning on me to just like, it's ready for you when you are, like.
Sorry, do you need any medication? I think they have MES drugs down at the pharmacy.
No, I took my dose. I'm good.
Okay.
Awesome. I just need a minute. And yeah, he just collects himself, sits down, like deep breaths, gets some color back to his face, and then says, looks back at the board, I guess, really, and takes a harder look.
So the board has your face in the center. You're connected to the logo for Astora, which is the salvaging company that hired you. It is also connected to the Thord authorized ship Doña Paz, which was the ship that you were on. Both of those are connected to the logo for Echelon, a family of companies which owns Astora. You're connected to two crew members who are both listed as like dead. There are several reports here that are just like your crazed mutterings from the rescue crew that found you, and like a testament from a monk of the exchange who had a brief conversation with you. You have no recollection of any of this.
Yeah.
And you're like, now that you're thinking about it, you're like, wow, there is a huge hole in my memory from the moment the incident happened till I bought that ship, and this is definitely where all that came from. She appears to be, you know what? I'll take notice or no. You've already said you wanted to do notice. Notice will get you something limited. No is going to get you a lot more.
Oh, well then I'll do no. Yeah, let's do that.
No, it'll be wisdom rather than intelligence.
Wisdom. Okay, perfect. Not great.
She
Tell him these rolls tonight.
has some sort of theory about you contacting metadimensional entities, that this may be the final proof that they're real, but also you may be clinically insane.
Yeah, so Quentin's... Go ahead.
That you were like in serious and incredibly like, it might have just been one of those having a vision flash before your eyes when you were about to die, because you were definitely dying when they found you.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's sweating. What was her name again? Did I get that?
Or did I not ask? And now, she introduced herself. She's now just wearing like a wife beater with an athletic bra and just like, okay, I'm done. Like, I can't save this sweatshirt. It's gonna have to go through a wash. I'm just gonna have to look like this today.
Is there? Oh my God, I'm so sorry about everything. Is there? Here, let me, and I'll get up to try to like check to see if like she's cleaned her face and stuff.
Yeah,
and try
she's
to help
doing a pretty
with
good job. She just goes over to a machine and like hits it, and it like a styrofoam cup comes down and like coffee fills into it, and she's. Yeah, I'm actually surprisingly used to people throwing up on me or sneezing on me or just, yeah, I feel like I'm oversharing. Okay, how are you guys? Yeah, Quentin, Alexander Polk the Fourth.
Can I get a copy of what y'all have here?
I think so. I don't think anything's classified. I'm actually an exchange student from Fanana, so there may be more information that someone could get. Like, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, let me just give me a few minutes to get a data drive together.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Are you okay?
And he's kind of spacing out a little bit. I've been better. This is something of a shock. I don't remember.
Yeah, that sounds right. She just takes a sip of the coffee, like, yeah, it's pretty much exactly what I would expect you would say. She starts working on it. We're going to cut back to Vandorn with Dad working up there. You feel a weird connection with your dad when it's the two of you alone in the blast ball room.
Is that connection rage going both directions?
No, you just feel, you got this weird feeling on the back of your neck when you're with him. Why'd you come back here?
Well, first of all, Father, I was invited by Sophie. But is it so bad to want to see family? Is it so bad to want to see you again?
No.
I know I didn't go.
Are they family?
Yeah. Sophie raised me. She's family.
Did she?
I grew up with Zach and Allie. They're my brothers and sisters. You're my father. Your family.
Last thing you said to her was, "You're not my real mom."
Listen, I've made some mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes. But you dropping that bomb on me the night before I left, that caused a lot of emotion to come out of me. And unfortunately, I think Sophie took the brunt of it instead of you. It should have been you that got some of that emotion, not Sophie.
Should have been me. Should have been me.
Yeah, you.
Me. I saved your life and my life. You don't even know. You don't know what you're talking about.
You're right. I don't, because you've never told me.
And if you're lucky, you never will.
I think I have a right to know, y'all.
You have a right to know?
Why don't I?
There is some knowledge in this sector that people would be better without. And if you're very lucky, I'll die with it. You don't need to know where you came from, Vandorn. You think Grace was changing your diapers? You think Grace was raising you? Sophie is your mother.
What do you mean by that? Grace? Grace wasn't?
I'm not going to talk about this with you.
Well, why not? Why don't I have a right to know? You tell me that. Why can I not know who my biological mother was? At least give me a heading. Give me a direction. Let me find out for myself.
You want to go find Grace?
I mean, chances are, the way you're talking, I won't find her anytime soon.
Unbelievable. I raised you better than this. You think you can just head out into the sector, cocksure of yourself? You fucking killed somebody. You think I haven't seen the police footage?
Hey, man, well, hey, he drew a gun on us.
You think that makes it okay to start killing people?
What does that have to do with me going to try to figure out who my ballot? Where are you going with this, y'all?
Do you know what I had to pay to get that footage scrubbed?
What? Why is it was defense? Why does it have to do with anything?
Every time people come to this station's gift shop, they can buy little stuffed animals that represent Zach and Allie, me, and your mother. But yours doesn't come with a name tag because you weren't answering any questions. So rather than say Vandorn Bostro, yours says Cowboy Space Ranger.
Hell,
you know
I like the
what
ring
an
of that.
embarrassment it is to me? You have no idea what this has done to me, to your mother. You think you can just call upon her accounts anytime you need money?
So out of character, did I do that a lot? Like I didn't.
I think you did it just once for the ship.
Okay, all right.
And it wasn't even like you asked for money. They were just like, hey, like, we're not sure you could back it up. And you were like, yeah, well, this is my family. And they're like, oh, the Vostro family, of course. They're,
Gotcha.
they're
So
such
it was like a
great credit.
cosign.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not even cosign. They just were like, oh, he's so rich. There's no way he wouldn't be able to pay this eventually. Yeah.
Well, y'all, there's a reason I haven't been using the name since. It's because I don't want any free handouts. I don't want to use the name. That was a mistake. Again, I've made a lot of mistakes, but I still fail to see what any of this, your gift shop, has to do with why I can't know where I come from.
I'm not going to talk about it. Where I came from, where you came from, no one else needs to know about. All right?
How bad could it be?
We came here with nothing. The first day we arrived in system, I couldn't afford enough milk for both of our bowls of cereal.
I understand that, but look, I mean, you set a good example. You went out, you took a risk.
Docks, 3 years old and crying for a mother you can barely remember. And I managed to talk my way into Sophie's circles. And she took care of you. She raised you. And this is how you treat her. I don't even want to say repay because that's too financial. You think you can just leave Zach and Allie as well? You think that's appropriate?
What do you mean leave? I'm here now.
You're here now. Great.
Yeah.
What about all that other time?
I didn't come here looking for anything. I was invited. Although I got to say, it feels like that invite didn't go by you. Otherwise, it would have been rejected.
I mean, he slams his fist down on a table that easily has like 20,000 credits worth of merch on it. And you can see some of it like leap at the force of his fist. And he says, damn it, Vandorn. You're my son. And you're always welcome back here. You need to get your head straight. You were invited. I was informed. It's not like your mother just pulled this on me because we're a family and we talk to each other. Something you maybe have forgotten about.
Yeah, that became pretty clear when I saw Allie today. But
Do you want me to just welcome you with a multicolored coat?
I think communication goes both ways, y'all.
Yeah, I'm informing you right now that you made a mistake and it needs to have a conversation about that, which is what we're doing right now. But if you think I love you any less because you left us, no, I'm disappointed. But you'll always have a home back here because I built it for you and for our family.
I think in the far back of his mind, he's not going to say anything, but he's just thinking repeatedly, you married into money. You didn't build shit. And so like he just keeps repeating that, but he's holding it back. So what do you want? You want me to write more letters? You want me to be more part of the family? I mean, I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to follow your example. I took a risk. I joined on a crew that, I think is very promising. And, I thought you'd be somewhat proud of me, but all you're doing here is berating me. And, it is hurtful because you are my father. And I'm sorry I haven't communicated as well as I could have. And I'm sorry that this is the first time you see me in a number of years, but got to say, this conversation's not making me want to come back. Okay. Sophie, Alec, and Allie and Zach, I just combined their names into one. It was great to see them. It hurt me to see Allie in tears. That honestly hurt. And I'm going to do my best to make sure that doesn't happen again. But, man, you haven't changed one bit.
He moves to stand in front of you and square up and say, I am proud of you for charting your own path. Now, I don't know if you've made great fortune so far. And it has changed you. I didn't approve of these hoverboat races.
You gotta get to know him first.
But you've made something of yourself. You've learned skills. and that's important. But you need to put them to work. Now, I'm hoping that the ship will give you good prospects. There is a job waiting back here for you anytime you're ready. Administration over one of our mining colonies.
He's trying really hard to hide an eye roll. That's like the last thing he wants to do is administration. Well, if you want me to work, you want me to prosper, why don't we work something out? Why don't I do something for Vostro construction?
You don't have to work for us if you don't want to.
I'm not
door
saying
is
we have
open
to.
if you need to come home.
I'm making a proposition here, y'all.
I know what it's like to have to leave someplace with nothing. Okay? If this job doesn't work out for you, you can come home. All right? You're always able to come home. I just wish you'd call every once in a while.
I'll do that. But I'll tell you, if you see me on this doorstep, that means it's a last resort and everything else has failed.
He holds out a hand for you to shake.
I'm not quite sure what I'm agreeing to, but I'll shake it.
Okay. You can hate me if you need to.
I just think I'm too much like you. That's all. I'll turn around and kind of start to walk out.
Okay. We cut back down to Quentin and MINERVA. Iono has handed you a data slab with everything that's in this room. So anytime you want to, you can look at the data digitally, or you can recreate this room and like holographically and like walk around on the ship as if you're here. Yes.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Oh, thank you, Ano. Yeah. Gosh, I completely spaced that. This is not none of this is why I came here. What got you? What are you looking for? What got you on this path?
I mean, I specifically am interested in metadimensional entities, but this department also covers pre-scream psionics. I mean, obviously the existence of metadimensional entities was always theorized under the mandate, but if there was any progress on it, it certainly wasn't shared with the general public. And if it wasn't shared with the general public, it wasn't shared with the people of Cress Wayside, outer second wave colonists, of course. So, pre-scream psionic studies, right? Like, was the scream change the way psionics work? I think there's a lot of evidence to say that yes, that psionics work differently in a post-scream environment. From what we can tell, texts recovered across the sector indicate that the current MES methods and controls used by the lead-ins at the Psionics Academy, I mean, it's really, that's not the name of the academy. I mean, I know your family runs it, but it wasn't actually originally called the Psionics Academy because there's, thousands of psionic academies across the galaxy, and of course there was a whole second Psionics Academy in this sector, but now that they're the only one, they call themselves the Psionics Academy. But sorry, you had a question?
Yeah, that's you kind of touched on a little bit of a passion project of mine, which is this other Psionic Academy that existed within this sector. I am deeply interested in this. It's real. Yeah. You have leads. So out of character, what would Quentin know about it? Like,
it exists
from his
maybe.
It exists. It existed.
It was a highly technologically. It was considered to be like near mandate level. So it was like semi paramilitary. Like the local mandate fleet would stage at that world. They would send psionic instructors down. So it was like military trained psionics would teach people on a highly like TL5 plus world of it was like JROTC essentially. Okay. It was preparing local colonists to help defend the sector and recruit willing and worthy candidates to become mandate mainline citizens and join the Psionics Corps.
I think with this whole conversation that's going on that MINERVA has no real stake in, I think MINERVA is going to be looking for like a library terminal or something to use and start. Minerva came here to look up history, and the captain's clearly on a passion project that Minerva has no real basis of understanding in.
You approach the terminal and it says, accessing guest credentials. Welcome, guest Minerva Blaze, citizen. And gives you basically public library access to this public university. So if there's any books or holographic recreations of local artifacts.
Yeah, and Minerva's going to study some post-Scream history.
So you want to get stuff from this particular lab. Make a no int.
And I'm not looking for any particular information so much as I'm just sort of, I'm just trying to read historical stuff from post-Scream on events or things like that.
Okay.
Let's see. No intelligence?
Yeah. 8. Okay. I'll come back to you with what you got. Quentin, you're about to ask Iono some more questions when someone walks into the room. They have on like a what are those caps called that the like fishermen but also like military wear, the boonie cap or whatever with the rim.
Boonie caps.
He's wearing a boonie cap, like fake leather vests over some loose movable clothes, and like khaki pants with a belt. He's got like a blaster on one side and a whip on the other, and he points at you and he says, "You son of a gun, Quentin Alexander Polk IV, you thief."
Thief? I don't know. What did I steal?
So Iono is like somewhat taken aback and says, that's Professor Billy Brighton. He's from Historical Artifact Recovery. I heard you found something on the moon. It belongs in a museum.
Sir, which moon, number one? And, trust me, I'm an academic myself.
He takes out his whip and he cracks it in the middle of the air. The one near the black hole. You think that I can't access public records like anybody else? You came back from there with something that you sold to the government. That's a historical record. People shouldn't have to pay money to learn about the history of humanity.
Now that I agree with you, but trust me, this was not something historical that we discussed.
You and we're rivals. This is not a friendly conversation.
This is happening. All right?
This is happening.
Billy Brighton, name remembered.
Quentin Alexander Polk IV, name remembered.
Watching you.
He takes his hat off. He says,
Indiana Jones with the whip.
It is Indiana Jones.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. He takes his hat off and says, Miss Canto. I'm sorry, I don't know you, Miss
Blaze.
Miss Blaze. You're on this man's crew.
I work for him, yes.
I think you do well to remember your obligation to humanity, Miss Blaze.
I feel like this is possibly a conversation that is between the two of you. I would hate to waste your time that you could be spending discussing this with each other.
I'll be watching you, Quentin. You and your crew.
Won't say I'm looking forward to it, but I'm definitely interested to see what that means.
You think I haven't heard about the map?
Competition.
Yeah. Competition, yeah. Just as soon as I get transport and an inn, I'm going to recover that map and make sure that everybody knows what's at the far end of that pathway.
Well, Billy, it's a good thing that I've already got both of those.
Puts his cap back on and turns around and leaves.
Let's see him play jumps off his shoulder.
Plays, but in reverse, and it's like polka, so it's like burr, 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 burr.
Gwen turns back to Iano and kind of does like a like what do we like do people like this guy?
I mean, his lectures are extremely popular. There are some. Hey, listen, there are some
show and tell.
rumors.
All the students love it.
Yeah, I mean, there have been several accusations from other faculty members that he gets a little bit too close with some of the female students, but I attended one of his lectures once just to, audit the class. I thought it was all right. It's a bit preachy, though. I mean, he really does not. He represents kind of really old values, which is fine, I guess. I mean, I am in the historical department as well, but
look, I'm a fan of history, but I don't think him and I are going to see eye to eye on everything. That's for sure. So now we were talking about this other psionic academy, and I just look. Do you have leads? What are you looking into?
I know it exists.
You know it exists. All right. Well, we're both on the same page. Now, here's the thing. I want to find it.
Okay. I think that it existed somewhere in the Gemini cluster.
The Gemini cluster. What gives you that idea? Do you have records? What do you know?
There are some some fleet records suggesting that both Ruda and Shavada may have once hosted the Mandate fleet. And if that's true and the Psionic Academy was tied to their fleet base, then one of those two systems must hold the second Psionic Academy.
Okay.
But,
I feel like
this is one recovered, corrupted hard drive found by a salvager fleet down in 0309. I mean, I wouldn't bet my life on it or anything.
It was found in 0309.
The record was found in 0309. Yeah, the Gemini cluster is 104 and 204. Yeah, I understand that Bruchel was recovered in 0309 by the prisoners there. So,
that place.
Probably on the planet Bad.
Yes. This is so Quentin would probably bring up any evidence that he knows of from that they have on Lita. Maybe there's like a paper record, shipping record or something that like
really
vaguely mentions the system or
yeah,
right. Just something that it exists. Maybe they received a package from there, right? And they just know that it came from that original place.
I want to cut to our series of final scenes for the night. In the background, your father, your sister, and your brother are seated at a table in the family room having a nice real steak dinner. And your mother has called you to look over at Risti Sumalin with a glass of wine in her hand. And she says, "You're still looking for your mother?"
I'm looking for my biological mother, yes. Some things you just got to know. Although I will say, y'all doesn't seem too pleased with this.
When I met your father, I had a background check done on him. And I've tried to trace back the course of his life. The first records of him showing up are he was on a refugee ship headed out of 0602 with a young boy and began making his way southernly, core-wise.
Sophie, I can't tell you how appreciative I am of this, but I gotta ask, why are you sharing this with me? You know, y'all would be furious. I'm keeping my voice very low.
This matters to you. It matters to you so much that you would leave the rest of your family to look for it. And I don't know. I've never felt the call of adventure like you and your father have. But it's pretty clear that you are a lot like your dad.
You could say that again. I'm both pig-headed, that's for sure. I just hope Zach doesn't turn into me. You know,
He's surprisingly like you, I think.
you know, he you can't tell him I told you this, but he asked maybe if in a couple of years or so, you know, he's turning 18, if he could think about joining our crew or something like that. I told him he'd have to totally defer to y'all and yourself, of course, because I don't think any way you'd approve that at this current stage. But
I mean,
just know he's got that little adventure tickle.
do you have a spot on the crew for him that he can maybe get to work this out?
You're serious?
If I'm going to have to go through this again, I think we'd better clear the way for him. Now, he's not 18 yet, but, you know, I'm not going to... Your father wants to put him in charge of a mining fleet, and he's 18 years old. He's clearly not qualified to do this at all. All right, let's just be very clear here. He needs some job experience, but I'm not just going to put him on... I'm not going to do the same thing. I'm not just going to put him on your ship if he doesn't know anything and he can't do anything, and he just spends all of his time, you know, watching Hollow and while the rest of you work, or dragging you down. If you have a spot open for skills that he has, I will approve this, as long as you watch out for your brother when he's old enough.
Thank you. That's the part that I needed to hear, because he's not even 18. I was going to say, what skills does he have? I mean, I can try to sell this to the captain, but to your point, how can he be useful to us? I mean, I'm ashamed to say this. I don't know what my brother's good at.
Boxing. He's an avid blast ball aficionado. He's very good at talking to people at parties.
You know, perhaps I'll talk to the captain and perhaps we can give him some homework, kind of a test. If he really wants to do something like this, let him prove it to us.
Okay.
And we'll see if something will work out. And you have my word, I would watch out for him. He's my brother.
I'll make sure that Yal understands.
That is appreciated. I don't think our chat went too well. We said some stuff we both meant and didn't meant, but the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Okay. She pulls you in for a hug.
I give her like a real big hug, like kind of almost like she's like, oh, well, I wasn't expecting this type thing, you know, like not just a quick goodbye hug, if that makes sense.
I would like you to just make an untyped charisma roll. Just 2d6 plus your charisma.
Is there a way to roll just charisma?
Just type it in. 2d6
Oh, okay.
plus. Yeah.
Any chance diplomat applies to that one?
No, but because you didn't have a skill to go with it, you've actually succeeded. It wasn't very high.
Nice.
You pull her into the hug as well, and the last shot we get is just tears in her eyes, but they're not the tears of, my son has just called me not his mother again. It's more like okay, someone is going to take care of these boys. We're past time, so I'm not going to do a post-credit scene. Instead, we'll do it next time as the pre-show one. I think everybody takes 2 experience points. Yeah, well, I think MINERVA gets 1 for the short-term goal. I need some convincing about the longer-term one. I don't know that
if I was to make an argument, I would say that the effort that that Van-Vee put into trying to make some reconciliations with his family is paving the way for him to make a proposition about some of those raw materials.
But he never got to that yet.
No, he didn't.
There's too
But
much other
that's
shit.
my attempt.
I think that's a next episode thing for sure.
Yeah.
So I think everyone will take 2 and Minerva will take 1.
Two being long term, short term, and then like the usual session, or 2 being short term and usual
I
session.
also don't think that well, you know what? I'll give you crew notable increase because you definitely got some beef with Billy Brighton. So that's 3 total XP for Quentin and Van-Vee and 2 for Minerva.
Awesome.
You may want to get another crew goal though. I don't know that you're going to be able to keep getting new reputations all the time.
Yeah, we'll think of one.
Oh, the crew goal. Yeah, not long term crew.
Yeah, so just, write down any goals that you want to change or think about over the next week. Let's do some, post show talk before we introductions. How are we doing?
Good. That was a heavy background episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed being background sidekicks so that you could have your time with your family.
It was. I mean, it was really interesting for me not knowing. Like, I feel like in the backstory I wrote, I set up a lot without actually stating if things were good or bad when we left. Right, just kind of said, well, the dad and I weren't on the same page, but I never really said anything about the relationship with the brothers or sisters and the mom. So it was kind of fun for me to see it all unfold and respond. So it was great. I feel bad.
Yeah, AP, you played that very well in terms of the upset little sister. Like you nailed it. So good.
I've seen a lot of television.
It just felt so Cosmo to upset the 2 women again.
Wow. Solaris Nights, if you haven't seen it, you should look it up.
Yeah, you caught me off guard with the like flashback to the incident.
Good.
Like I was not ready. That was great.
We are definitely going to do that episode when somebody's missing. So
I'm
just
excited.
so you know, you won't I might keep dripping you flashbacks, but you're never going to know all of what happened contextually until we do that episode.
No, I like it.
It's like we need to take turns missing sessions.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
The only I did enjoy that that everybody else got their 3, that they got the time to do it. The only thing I'm sad about is I made that knowledge roll and we didn't end up coming back around to that.
Definitely we'll do it top of the order.
Okay.
The
fact that it was a specific role made me curious.
What was the exact thing you're looking for so I can have it?
I got an 8 on the roll while trying to read up on historical events post Scream in this that were on record here.
Okay. I'm marking that down as the first thing we're going to cover is you and your public library terminal access.
Just picture an R2D2 jacking in.
She's using her
I'm a little
regular
more subtle than
human
that.
body to work keyboards.
Thinking this is so inefficient.
Give me 1 more XP and then that'll start to get weird.
Dr. Coons Sporadicus. He'll show up eventually, I guess.
Yeah. Where's this guy?
What a name.
I like how Quentin's rival is Indiana Jones.
It's beautiful.
I think this is going to be great as a recurring.
Yeah, exactly.
I love how the guy you went to go meet was like, yeah, he's not here, but this other guy that hates you's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can just throw up on the exchange student.
Right. Like, here's the grad student. There for abuse.
Just a random cork board with all these strings going to you in the middle. Oh, look, you're here. It's like they didn't know.
Disconcerting.
I also really enjoyed just like in my mind's eye imagining all the things that Minerva must have been processing while they were having these conversations. Like, I think the training for psionics were different in the past, and Minerva didn't do any of that, but is probably tangentially aware of some of those differences.
Mm-hmm.
Just being like, I'm just yeah, that's his business.
Yeah.
So every time a psionic gets invited to a meeting, they must have a celebratory corkboard with their name in the middle.
They do research on them. Shows respect.
I feel like 2 hours isn't enough, guys. It just isn't enough to get everybody in here. So we're going to have to work real hard. I don't want to say compete, but we're going to have to really push our goals. But I think that does make for very story-dense role-played episodes so far. Like, there's not a lot of going... Oh man, like I really loved your recap at the beginning that got the audience on board and let me know that you knew what you were doing and I wouldn't have to be like, well, here's what you're doing. That's great.
Yeah, I really do like how this goal stuff is really driving character.
Yeah, really.
I do like it.
Yeah, this is awesome.
So make sure to do your homework for next week to change any goals that you need to change. And think about maybe I don't know if anyone wants to throw out crew stuff or whether you just want to do it in Discord before we do outros. Like if anyone has any ideas for a new crew goal.
Oh, yeah. What is
I don't
the
think
next one?
that short term we're going to be able to do that though.
Reputation over and over. Yeah. I have a couple ideas, but I can just put it in Discord due to timing.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do introductions. Vandorn, Van-Vee, Fostra,
Vantis, Fostra.
Yeah.
Unknown original last name. Everyone, Dunamis. You can find me on AP's Discord. Been on a couple of shows through mostly through Battletech. This is my first time with this system. It's a lot of fun so far. Loving it so far, and happy to play with these guys.
Ludemann.
All right. Well, I'm Ludemann. You can catch me on AP's Discord as well. I am having a blast so far and just really can't wait to see what other crazy stuff happens. More lungs getting puked out.
I mean, did that really happen, or was it just like a weird dream that you had? Who knows?
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Me. It's me. I'm the one who says. Kain.
Does it say it isn't part of your own personal event horizon? I'm KainDamael. You can find me on AP server. This is the second show that I've been in. I'm having a blast. I'm really enjoying this group and this game and these characters. I'm looking forward to seeing how much more character-driven stuff we can get out of the way that we've set this up, because I think it's off to a great start.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that was how you pronounced DeMail.
I didn't know that
I've been
either.
calling you KainDamael for so long. Like 50 episodes. All right.
Look, I picked that as an internet handle in middle school with no idea how it's supposed to be pronounced. I just looked up cool words on the internet, slapped them together so I could play AVP Classic online.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's been with me for so long, I don't know where it came from.
I just wanted the Greek word for power, but some asshole keeps taking it before me everywhere. So I replaced that S with a 5.
Amazing.
Too funny.
Everyone's good for next week?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. That's it.
No prequels.
See you next time, Space Cowboys.
See ya.